I know many of you have watched a cheetah chase a gazelle, and we all hope that the gazelle gets away. And if worse comes to worse, we wouldn't deny that the gazelle has a right to use its horns and hooves to protect itself against this predator. Now, this may come as common sense to many of you, but when this scenario is used for human beings, it tends to change. As Americans, we have the right to defend ourselves, according to the Second Amendment, which is, we have the right to bear arms. Sadly, there are many Americans who are denying this same right to people. And they are under the impression that if you cut the horns off a gazelle, the predator will just simply go away. How ridiculous does that sound? You cut the horns off the gazelle and take away its only way to protect itself, you get more predators and not less of them. I personally have been in situations where I am lucky to have had my concealed weapon permit gun with me. If not, the situation would have ended up very differently. I would like to explain and give you a few examples of why the Second Amendment needs to stay the way it is, so the American people have the right to protect themselves. Whenever something bad happens, we as humans have the tendency to want to blame something, to blame anything that we can control. Take a look at this picture, for example. You can beat someone, strangle someone, or stab someone, but the second you shoot someone, things change. So why is it that we only talk about murders committed by guns? According to the FBI statistics of 2017, hands and feet kill twice as many people as guns do, and knives kill 5 times as many people than gun murders do. A Johns Hopkins study claims that more than 250,000 people in the U.S. die every year from medical malpractice. 250,000. Medical errors are the 3rd leading cause of death after heart disease, according to a journalist named Jack Sippard. In the year 2017, 15,000 people died from guns, and this is including suicide. This information is found in the Week's Journal, written by Amanda Gilley. So the question is, why aren't we trying to ban knives or doctors or hospitals? Is it because we only see the good that they bring? I don't think that those who are trying to ban guns really want to ban guns. What they really want to ban is murder and violence. But deep down, we all know that murder and violence is just built into the human condition. And sadly, it always will be. A statistic also done by Amanda Gilley says that guns have prevented 800,000 to 2 million violent acts per year. And comparing this to the 15,000 people who died last year of guns, it could have been much worse if no one had guns at all. This goes back to the cheetah-gazelle analogy. All of these statistics may not mean much to you, so I want to share a story about someone who is personally affected by gun control. Let's talk about Amanda Collins. She was a law-abiding citizen, and she was attending a university in Nevada. She had a concealed weapons permit to carry around her 9mm Glock with her for self-defense. Like many colleges, the college she was attending was a gun-free zone. So, Amanda, being the law-abiding citizen that she is, did not have her 9mm Glock on her while she was walking home from a night class. Amanda was raped feet away from the campus police office. And a few months later, the same man that raped Amanda went on to murder 19-year-old Breanne Dennison. After this happened, Amanda Collins came forward to say, "I know I have been the first victim, that Breanne Dennison would still be alive if I had been able to defend myself that night." I think this picture right here is exactly what happened to Amanda Collins. She obeyed the law to the point where a criminal knew she would be unarmed. When you go to a different state, you aren't asked to give up your First Amendment right. And you aren't forced to give up your Fifth Amendment right when you walk onto a college campus. So why is it that if we go to California, we're asked to give up our Second Amendment right? Or if I walk onto BYU campus, I'm asked to give up my Second Amendment right because it is a gun-free zone. The choice to participate in one's own self-defense should be on the individual and not controlled by the government. I should not have to hand over my safety to a third party. Laws that prohibit concealed carry turn more people into victims. Today, I have told you why our Second Amendment must be protected. I'm asking each of you to protect the Second Amendment. Let Americans defend themselves in the way that they need to defend themselves and not depend on the government. The Second Amendment is there to protect the American people from tyranny. It's there to protect the American people from politicians. And it is there to protect the American people from us.